Two more questions I got for you. One of them has to do with fluoride. Many parents are told by dentists that their children require fluoride kind of treatments as well as toothpaste. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I guess I would throw it back to the parent and say, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Like, have you read what fluoride does when it gets into the brain or
Mhm.
when it gets into the thyroid or when it gets into the reproductive organs or when it gets into the eyes? Have you read about it? First of all, the fluoride that's used in water treatments and in dental offices is fluoride that comes from factory wastes. And second of all, fluoride is neurotoxic. And because the children are injected with materials that contain aluminum, aluminum and fluoride together are ghastly neurotoxic. Yeah,
Hard no there.
that's a hard no.
Yeah. It's still wild that these I find dentistry kind of at least the conventional side of dentistry. There are wonderful biological dentists out there, but between fluoride, mercury, root canal, like all these things, it's like, wow, we are still living in the dark ages in some ways when it comes to dentistry, especially again
Conventional wisdom.
with children who are developing minds, sponges. That's where we do this too. And yeah,
Conventional wisdom. That's where you got it.
yep, the oxymoron. One more question here, and I'll let
Okay.
you go. But is there any supplements you recommend for boosting the immune system in children?
Good
Do
question.
children need supplementation at all if they're eating
Good
properly?
question. Okay. So I always love it when people ask me, what do I do to boost or strengthen my child's immune system? And my answer is as follows. Do you believe your child's immune system is weak? Because it sounds like you do, because otherwise you wouldn't ask me to strengthen it or boost it. So I come from the perspective that children are already strong and don't need boosting. The real question I want to hear parents ask me is how do I prevent weakening my child's immune
Mm.
system? And now go back to the beginning of this interview. And that's
It's about prevention optimization, not waiting for things to happen and then asking what supplement, correct?
yeah, I mean, what makes you think your child needs strengthening? Well, I just want to make sure what? Is anything happening in the child's life that makes you concerned? No. So your kid's strong. Yeah, but what? Yeah. Remember, if you're asking the question, what do I do to strengthen my child's immune system? You're starting from the perspective of lack,
Yeah.
insufficiency, and of weakness. And I don't start from that place. I start from the place that your child is strong.
Hmm.
I'm going to suggest ways that you learn not to weaken your child any further.
Yeah. My father always said an uncompromised child has an incredible healing capacity anyway, and is already in such still new. Everything should be working fine. It's not like 30 years of things that have gone wrong or anything. That's why they make perfect patients in some ways. He says they don't have biases. They don't have, really strong belief systems, whether something works or not or anything. They're excellent, usually excreters, right? Always going to the bathroom. A toddler just pissing everywhere, pooping. So they really are already in a state of great self-healing if the environment around them is
Correct.
proper.
Correct. And that's the reason 38 years ago, I made the decision to go into pediatrics and not adults
Mm,
because they're uncomplicated.
yeah.
It's
The
so
parents,
easy.
the parents, that's a different story.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's another lecture, that's a lecture, not even an interview. Oh,
Well, I think we got to a lot here that can help a parent become, a better advocate for their child's health and find the ways to prevent and optimize rather than waiting for issues to happen. And that's
Right.
what we need. We don't need this trend to continue on because it really is a very alarming one. I mean, when you got, the bodies above saying, children should be on Ozempic and gastric bypass and all these for overweight, and then all this other that's just insane to hear, really.
Yeah.
But this is,
Right.
government bodies saying this that people trust.